Hey family, welcome back to the show, the channel, Celebrity Scandalous. Y'all can tell I am out of it tonight. Hey y'all, welcome back to another video with laughs, gags, and gossip. Now let's get into the mess. Hey Scandal Squad, welcome back to the channel, Celebrity Scandalous. So we are just going to be here for a minute. I think this is day 4 or 5 of my 30-day challenge to go live. So basically, I'm just going live because I've committed myself to doing it, but y'all can clearly see it's late. Okay, we on the late night tip. And when I was looking around to see what everybody was talking about, what was trending today, everybody is still talking about that Fox Soul debacle with Armand roasting down Al Reynolds, right? And so I said, well, let me just, let's just talk about that and kind of get caught up. It's so many moving pieces. Claudia Jordan went live today. I haven't seen everything. Listen, I have been out in San Francisco, went to a play, a musical, had dinner at Epic, a late, Epic restaurant in San Francisco, which was kind of like right at the bridge. Beautiful scene. So, and then, of course, the champagne was just spilling. So this is a late night. This is a late night chit chat for me. I'm just here to kick it with y'all, see what you're doing on this Friday night. But anyway, so this whole thing about Armand Wiggins, Al Reynolds, and Claudia Jordan. I mean, I remember about a year ago, or was it a year ago, 6 months ago, when all of this stuff happened with Funky Dineva falling out with them. And I never watched Fox Soul that much. And I remember Claudia Jordan, for being in some movies over the years, but mainly her as a Real Housewife, been on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but really didn't follow her too much. Didn't know that she and Tasha K were, cool at some point, but it sounds like they've even fallen out because Tasha spilled some tea about her being connected to, that young lady that people are alleging Jay-Z did something to. And Claudia's like, no, nope. She's saying, I didn't tell you nothing about that. So it's interesting, their relationship or what's going on with them. But now this whole thing with Funky Dineva leaving, Armand coming to the show, T.S. Madison, Lunel, they're trying to get their rhythm back because after Funky Dineva left, it's been somewhat of a shit show. And I thought Armand was a good fit, to be honest. I mean, I started watching it a little bit more, because I like Armand. I think he's funny. The way he read down Jason Lee, he's fearless. He's, I was going to say he's young, but I think he's starting to get up. He ain't that damn young no more, I was going to say he's very young. I mean, 30s, that's still pretty young. But I'm just saying in terms of career-wise and things, you only get a pass for so long if you're causing drama. And that's what they're saying that he's doing. But, he's young and fearless, new to the LA scene. I believe he was in the Bay Area. He's from the Bay Area and moved down to Los Angeles and, really making a name for himself. And his, I remember when I first started watching him on YouTube, he was always kind of ahead of the curve. Him and Tasha K, of course, we know that they had their falling out and they've had a rocky history, but his set, his channel, he had the state-of-the-art equipment and he was kind of ahead of everyone else. Well, now fast forward to him replacing Funky Dineva. I don't think he's been on Fox Soul for a year yet. I think he's still pretty a newbie. Like, I don't think he's in his sophomore year. I think it's still his first year, but you know, I understand. And to be honest, because I don't follow it that much, but the ratings are still kind of lackluster. Like, they're not, from the money that allegedly that these people are being paid. You have some YouTubers that have what phenomenal numbers that you know, I just don't see that their channel or that show is doing that great. But anyway, so we got Armand joining the cast, you know, and it sounds like, so I'm trying to put on, because I'm like, well, what? Whoa. Hey, here's my co-host, Lulu's World. Hey, girl, and it's late for you, so I don't even know why you up. Aren't you supposed to be in bed? Because I'm in California and it's not midnight, but it's late for you. Why are you up, girly? I mean, I was on Grape Tea News Live as well for a little bit, but I just want to jump on here. I thought about you too. I'm like, okay, stay committed. Lulu was posting that I had done day 4 of the challenge. So I thought about you. I said, nah, you can't stop. You got to keep going. You can't stop, can't stop. Because I look at Grape Tea News and he's encouraging me. So that's really why I'm on here, Lulu, because listen, the pressure is on. And I'm going to tell you, you part of the pressure plan too, okay? The pressure package. But yeah, you should be resting because it should be what, 11, 12, 1, 2. I'm thinking you're at least 2 or 3 hours ahead of me. But anyway, thank you for coming. I appreciate you. And as you can see, you got your wrench. I figured it out. But anyway, I'm trying to understand all of the dynamics, the behind the scenes of what happened with Armand Wiggins. Now, let me just say this with his birthday roast of Al Reynolds. I'm just going to say this, and from my perspective, Armand has a job. Again, I am a fan of Armand Wiggins. I like him, but I'm just kind of taking my fan wig off and just putting on more of a corporate or a professional wig. And one thing I do know about jobs and office politics and things like that, you just have to be careful what you say, what you do, and how you impact the brand. And this is a very, I mean, the Fox Soul and those hosts, Claudia, Al Reynolds, and Armand, they're very public facing. So for him to get on there and read and allow us as the audience to understand what's really going on behind the scenes is crazy, right? It's like, you know, we should know that level of detail. Think about if you have a office job or whatever, if you don't own your own company or whatever, even if you own your own business or if you're an entrepreneur, you would not want your employees or anything that the public would be able to know about the messiness behind the scenes, right? It's kind of bad for the brand. This is bad for the brand. I get that maybe Armand and Al and Claudia, maybe there's some internal, well, not maybe, clearly there's some issues, but it's like, you don't bring that to the public. Like, all of that stuff is behind the scenes. And for him to, you know, put it on camera, which it can never be taken back. Now it is in the internet. It's like, you can't take this ish back, Armand. This was a big one, because now you've destroyed relationships. We've got to look at the brand. People are, you got advertisers. I don't care how big or little, even as small as my channel is, you will see advertisers on these videos, and that brand is huge. Fox Soul, because of their affiliations, that's huge. So thank you. Shout out to 5 days. Thank you, girl. I'm trying. And I appreciate you because you're keeping me on track. I really appreciate it. As just a quick pause here. Lulu is going to be doing a cooking challenge, and I don't want to overshare because I don't want to put the pressure on her. But anyway, at some point she will be talking about it and will be coming up on the show soon, I hope, so she can talk about what she's doing with her channel and growing her channel as well. But Armand, it's like, come on, you have really, this is not necessarily a good look. It's not a good look for Fox Soul. It's not a good look for you guys as a team. And honestly, in terms of personal branding, it really makes people, I'm sure people are going to pause when they're thinking about hiring Armand. I get that he's fearless, and that's awesome. But it does kind of make, when you do things like this, you have to understand it kind of makes some people kind of apprehensive about bringing you into their clique or even making you a part of their brand, because what they know is that on Mad Day you gonna go to uck off, right? You gonna spill all the tea, and we just can't do that. I mean, you got to think about it. They're just places that you work, or things, information and secrets you hold, that you just have to contain yourself, and you just can't go out there like that. But anyway, we're not gonna stay here long, but let's, in case you missed it, and I did see Tasha K, but now that I'm seeing more and more bits and pieces come out, like I said, and Claudia did a live about it, and I have to go back and delve a little bit deeper. One thing I want to say too is that I remember when Al Reynolds and Star Jones got married back in the day. It was big. Star Jones was kind of competing a little bit with the Oprah. She was the black, because she was an attorney, and so she was on The View, and she was making a name for herself, and she was on the upward rise, right? She was overweight, which was fine, attractive, and I believe, I want to say she may have been in her 40s when she got married to Al. But whatever age she was, I mean, she was on the opposite, at the age where people were like, oh, you've never been married, you don't have kids. So I don't want to say she was marrying him out of desperation, but that marriage was a big scandal. But we could talk about that later. But also, when she did get married to Al, because I remember all of everybody, the how she had to address the rumors about him, whether he was gay or not, and he denied it. He said he was straight, but there were people in the industry that would be coming out. Wendy Williams talked about it, because y'all know this is back in the day when Wendy was still doing her thing, and people were saying that Star knew that this man was gay. It was clear as day that he was, but he denied it. So I did some research to go back to see if I could find Star actually addressing his, him being gay. And to be honest, y'all, a lot of this stuff is scrubbed from the internet. Some of the places where I kind of can do a deep dive, I was thinking I'm literally going to have to go into a library and see if I can find some old periodicals or something. Because if you look online now, because a lot of stuff online, they could put it up, put it down, and there's always metadata and footprints of stuff. But I really couldn't. I think I found one piece, and I got to go back and look at it. But that was the interesting part to me, is did Al really disclose to Star that he was gay? Because if y'all remember, Terry, remember the author, I forget her last name, Terry McMillan? And remember Stella, how Stella got her groove back? She wrote that book, and she married that younger guy, and he ended up being gay too. So I remember that was a big thing, maybe about 15, I don't want to say 20 years ago, but when these women were marrying these men that were down low, or bisexual, I should say. So that was interesting. So I want to see what I'm going to go back and put all that together, because I don't believe Al says he was honest with Star about being bisexual. But all of the reports, if you look at some of his interviews back in the day, he unequivocally denied it. Now, maybe he denied it publicly, but he told her behind the scenes. So I don't know, but we're gonna have to get into that. And another thing, he said that Star Jones, he was not the first gay man that she loved. I said, well, I'll be nice, right? Because Star's married now to another man, right? And I guess this man is straight, whatever. But so we got to talk about that. But anyway, let's jump into this Tasha K breaking down what really happened with, and see, Tasha gonna give it to us straight. And Tasha knows all of these players. I don't know how well she knows Al Reynolds, but she definitely knows Claudia, and her relationship. She started off as a mentor to Armand Wiggins. So let's get into what Tasha has to say. This is some juicy tea, and it's still unfolding. So let me just say before I start playing this, the word on the curb is that, is Armand going to be let go? It sounds like a show. No, Star Jones wasn't gay. Star's not. Al Reynolds was, and he said that she loved another gay man before she got with him. So Al Reynolds is saying when he married Star Jones that he disclosed to her that he was bisexual and that she knew. And so he was saying, and what people don't really know is that Star also had another boyfriend or somebody she was engaged to prior to him that was a bisexual male. So he's basically saying that that was her thing or she accepted it. And given her how she felt about herself at that time, I could understand because, she just wanted to be married. She wanted the fairy tale, so she took what she thought she could get. And no offense to I don't mean to be offensive to any audience because I support the alphabet community. And I say alphabet because I be forgetting them initials. I ain't gonna lie. And but personally, for a man that I'm involved with, I prefer heterosexual men. I don't want to date a person that's bi. That's just me. There's nothing wrong with it, but if I'm being honest about it, I just like straight men because I just think it's an easier relationship. Yeah, and I like men, so that's just my preference. But I don't have anything against gay couples or anything like that. So anyway, yeah, let's listen to Tasha K break it down. And Lulu, if you could just put a one and let me know if you could hear. Tasha Shady. Y'all know Tasha Shady. Tasha is shady. Okay, y'all. Um, so I see in the chat you're not hearing Tasha K. Okay, that's crazy. Can you hear now? Oh, let's see. Let's see.
In it. They gave us one black president. Like, girl, stop.
Okay.
And you not even black.
Thank
Okay?
you.
So here's the thing. I kind of saw where it was going, and I saw them give a bunch of celebrities a lot of money to make these shows, only for these shows to dwindle down to now the bare basics. They're barely hanging on. Funky Dineva was over there. It was controversial. It was controversy every week on something. Funky is not afraid to speak his mind at all. Okay. That's what really made the show pop. He's not afraid. He's really in this. He stands on business. I'm not going to take away his phenomenal commentary just because me and him don't really rock with each other. That's cool. But he is absolutely phenomenal at what he does. And he drove that show. We had several conversations on the phone behind the scenes.
In case you missed it, and I apologize, you guys, I really do apologize. Tasha K basically said Claudia Jordan makes about 300,000 and Al Reynolds makes about 150, and I didn't hear her say how much Armand makes. But she said that before Funky Dineva left, I think he was making about 250 or something like that.
About him asking for more money, okay, behind Al and Claudia's back because he felt like he drove the show. And so during negotiations, the math wasn't math. Then they said, we can't afford to give you more money. So we're going to have to end your contract and find somewhere else. He didn't think they would be able to survive him. And so they went on to audition. Okay, we saw T.S. Madison over there, a few different hosts. T.S. Madison ended up declining it. So they gave it to Armand. Okay. Now, I'm a firm believer that what's for you is what's for you. So he got what was for him. I had dinner with Claudia, and Claudia did ask me, who should I recommend? I personally told her, without any ill intention, if you're trying to replace the type of energy that Funky gave, it has to be Armand. Aside from our 42-day relationship of being mentor and mentee, and he was doing the same thing he's doing on Fox Soul, the same thing he did to T.S. Madison. People give him an opportunity, he finds a way to sabotage it. Okay, so work with me here. Just we just getting started, and I'm gonna let y'all go and take care and get ready for Saturday because I got a lot of interviews to do. Now, although he could be young, a lot of people are saying that he's not young. He's actually in his 40s, given his receding hairline. I don't know. Okay. I really don't know. They say he's been out here trotting like hot to trot because his mouth gives hot to trot. Remember that movie with the horse? For a long time out here on these streets. And he finally got an opportunity that he conjured up because, you know, he does tarot cards and all that stuff, right? But when me and Claudia had dinner, she asked me, and I told her personally, if she was going to replace anybody, it would have to be him. Now I knew his range was a bit limited because he only focuses on female shit, not male shit. You know what I'm saying? He's always in women's business. But and you know, I thought that he would grow to expand on his knowledge. When you're put in situations, sometimes you have to either conform or you're getting out. However, after his commentary on the Air Forceman, when he said, why would he answer the phone? Why would he answer the door with a gun? That went left. I knew right then and there, and watching the views dwindle from 100 to 150,000 when Funky was there to barely 40,000, that they were going to act fast. Now the winos is nosy. They had noticed that he had removed Fox Soul from his bios. He had left before, okay, because he had Fox Soul in his bios saying that he was very excited about this job, okay, only to remove it after he even removed himself from his YouTube platform for quite some time. Put all of his commentary on private. You know, he's trying to start new, doesn't want people to grab information or comments that he said that could be deemed offensive, especially out here when you're working for you crackers that's giving you an opportunity at Fox, okay? And so you better be on your.
Okay, so to be honest, I saw a little bit of this last night. I didn't even know the levels of the depths that had. I didn't even know that Tasha K had recommended Armand to Claudia Jordan. And honestly, I really would question that because from what I see, and I know Tasha, like Tasha is a bit different. She she's about business. So I do believe that even if she don't like you, if it's about the money, she won't work with you, whatever. So I think she has a different mindset, and that's why she's successful, even though people don't like her. But I really have a hard time believing that she recommended Armand because they can't stand each other. Come on, Tasha. But she said she did, so okay, let's keep going.
Stephen A. Smith, or your ass is out. And so when me and Claudia had dinner, I was just like, listen, I think it should be him. Her comment to me, and I agreed because I've had my own issues with certain Black gay men, not all, mainly the F's. Can't say that word over here. I definitely say it on TashaKLive.com. It gets too messy. And so she was already irritated with Funky because they were going back and forth. And then she was irritated with Al. And she's like, I really don't want no more gay boys. I'm just done. I really want a heterosexual person. I said, well, if you're looking for that energy, this is my recommendation. Personally, no shade or anything like that. I think he's awesome for the job and he will grow into the position. At least I thought he would. And so he's been over there, he's been trying, but I think just when people just don't want to expand their knowledge, and it's only so far you can go. It's like if you don't read, you're not going to get any better at reading. You're not going to get any better at writing. You're not going to get any better at articulating your thoughts. Funky was well vast in his thoughts. He could cover a variety of topics and do it in a very intelligent and articulate way. That's what made him a very strong personality, stronger than Al, stronger than Claudia. Period. He carried the show. That is no shade at all. That is the actual truth. It's facts. Okay. He and I had discussed there was a possibility that the show could go under if he wasn't there. That's why he was fighting for higher pay. But I was like, you have to understand this network, your show is not bringing in that kind of money. The average YouTuber only makes about, let's just say $500 to $1 million a year, right? You three together, and you're not bringing in as many views, and they're sharing one YouTube platform, okay, with a lot of creators. It's just not in a budget. It doesn't make sense. So maybe wait, because they were getting ready to syndicate them and put them on TV. But when that started to negotiate, because he started negotiating behind their back, and that's what really caused the friction in him thinking that he was the show, which he was, but it made the show nice because all of them worked together as a cohesive unit. They all had very different perspectives, okay? And even if they agreed or they disagreed, they all agreed to disagree, and that was it, all right? Now, all good things must come to an end sometime. And when Armand joined the show, I was really excited for him. And I thought that this would help him to expand his knowledge and learn how to work with people and respect people that give you opportunities.
Tasha's making a good point right there. I think that's the problem that we're seeing with Armand that people are calling out is the fact that even like with Jason Lee, like he's getting some great opportunity and he's being aligned with some power players, but sometimes you got to just suck it up and play the game until you are in a key position where you are the head, the head honcho. And it sounds like he continues to self-sabotage a little bit because this is gonna have an impact on his brand. Okay, but let's continue.
Especially people who have been doing this in this space for a very long time. Now, you guys may not like Al at all. He may get on your nerve, But the simple fact is, whether Al is DL or not, whether he's out front with his sexuality or not, Al has been working in TV and working with white folk for a very long time. He knows how to keep a job. Al don't come from the internet. Al comes from television. Okay? Now, yes, the internet is a beef and is a beast in itself. It's its own media. There's really no comparison between TV and internet, but he operates very differently because he's worked for people. Armand comes from a world where you don't work with anyone, but sometimes in order to get ahead, you do have to create relationships instead of sabotaging relationships with me, with TS, with Jason Lee. The list goes on with Jessica or XOXO Gossip Girl. The list goes on. The same problem. Somebody's doing me wrong. Why are people doing this to me? She's not loyal. That was his story with me. She's not loyal. What do I owe you? You came to me, you asked me to mentor you. I did that as I do with everybody. I saw you live drunk, throwing shade and dragging me. I cut you off. That was it. Why would I continue to help somebody, regardless if you apologized or not? You showed me who you were in those 42 days, and I believed you. You got mad at T.S. Madison because she didn't invite you to Thanksgiving dinner. Dragged her. They moved you off Facebook because you dragged them. He has problems with rejection. That's a personal problem. Nobody owes you nothing. Burning Jason Lee's book for what? Dragging sister-in-law after she put you in, gave you different opportunities to go to shows, even though you was being used to come at me. That's cool, right? But those are opportunities that you use to help get ahead. But you don't burn every book and every bridge as you're going down. Now, here's what has been going on. Claudia don't like Al. She personally told me. Claudia don't like Funky. She was tired of working with gay boys, specifically F's. Per me. That ain't no allegedly on that. We had dinner. We talked about it. The same night when she told me she was friends with Jay-Z's alleged ex. That ain't here no more. She X'd off, okay? And quick.
See, I told you guys that. So that's why her and Claudia fell out. Because remember, even Jaguar Wright was saying that Claudia was one of Diddy's doo-wop but op doop girls. And Claudia was threatening to have some lawsuits. She was like, y'all not going to keep throwing my name around in this Jay-Z stuff with this girl, Kathy White, that allegedly was unalived, or people are speculating at this point. So, and Tasha keeps saying the F word. Now we know, like she said on her channel, and she said Claudia says it. It's like that. Even her saying this is making it kind of bad. Like, we are not using the F word. Just like, Black people don't like you to use the N word. Let's just have some respect for people. Say, her saying the F word. She don't like the F word. Y'all still using it. I mean, people call them gay boys or the gay guys. Y'all don't have to use the F word. You just don't, unless you're really trying to be disrespectful. Seriously. Anyway. Back to Tasha.
We got amnesia. Now here's the thing. They ended up giving him the job by default. She wanted TS because she vibes with TS. The numbers have been going down because he's not strong enough. And he's not developing himself enough because he's only skilled in one area, which is female rap, right? You're a man. We need a man's perspective. And when you're going to talk about an Air Forceman that was violated by the police on his own property, damn near trolled and shot for no reason, and you say he shouldn't have came to the door, being an Air Forceman, being in a state where it's legal to carry a firearm when somebody is playing at your door as a black man first, not gay man, you should have been able to empathize that. But instead, he should have just conformed, because you know how white folks are. I knew at that time this was the decline. And so what's happening is Claudia is very messy. Claudia talks about everybody. This is why Funky got energy for her. This is why Al called Funky Dineva doing this. Play the video of him calling Funky. Let's go.
Hold on before you talk.
No,
Hold on, I'm on
you need to
live.
hear this. You need to hear this on live.
Hold on, people can hear you.
I don't give a fuck. When I tell you go back and watch TGIF tonight,
what happened?
Go back and watch TGIF tonight and call me back.
All right, bye.
Nah, he thinks it's funny. It is funny, okay? Because here's what happened. Claudia spends a lot of time on the phone kikiing with folks that she don't really know, okay? And Armand is an easy target. You tell him something, he's going to take it in because he's an energy absorber, right? Okay, he's gonna take it in, and he's thinking he's gonna fix the problem, but instead he don't even know when he being used. He doesn't know. So when it was Al's birthday, Al should have been able to celebrate his birthday, regardless of what workplace problems y'all got. Fox Soul is paying all of them a lot of money. They are the hottest show over there. Nobody can take that show from y'all but y'all. Not him, not her, not you, y'all. And as Black folk, it's a reminder that we still have a long way to go when it comes to working with people, me included, okay? Me included. But I think I've came a long way. All the creators that you saw with Wine is a New Tea that are on tour with me, we coming, we here, okay? Now, here's the thing. When I saw the read, and I'm going to show you the roast because they were supposed to be doing birthday roasts. And, you know, Claudia roasted Al on his birthday. Okay. Regardless of how y'all feel about him, it's his birthday. Right? Y'all don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what's going on at work. You do not know. They're seeing the drop in numbers because when the numbers drop, guess what happens? They don't know when they're going to get pink slips. They're getting paid close to or over $500,000 to host a show that's barely bringing in 60,000 views. That is why they had to implement a fourth guest host, because he's not strong enough. Nobody was stronger than Dineva. So that's why you got Lunel over there getting it popping. That's why you got T.S. Madison over there getting it popping. And that's why he removed Fox Soul from his bio and reactivated the YouTube channel, because he knows what's coming down the pipe. But then you want Claudia to pillow talk in your ear about everything that's going on, and you ain't even been on the job a full year. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And furthermore, while you're listening to Claudia, because she's friends and she likes to brag with the president of Fox, and he loves the show, he loves me, right? I get to bring as many shows as I want. We're getting syndicated, only for the show to decline, right? Tremendously. They're having to take out additional money to help save it, which is the last straw. That's why he got back on his YouTube channel.
Now that's some tea right there, because I do remember that Armand had stopped doing his regular channel, but I know he had opened up an office space last I want to say downtown LA, but I don't really know exactly where. But you know, he has a studio now, and he recently did that interview with Jaguar Wright, which was great. Like he has a studio so he can have guests and everything. So that was a good move. But now in terms of whatever Claudia was telling him, I think it wasn't smart for him to repeat it if there was some issues behind the scenes in terms of some of the stuff that he said, because I think Tasha's going to play it. It's like he should have let Claudia do that. Like, don't allow somebody to use you as a pawn. If Claudia needed to get back at Al for whatever work relationship or history that they have, don't allow a person to use you. Let Claudia do that. He wasn't a part of all that stuff with Funky Dineva and all of that that backdrop. Like, I don't know why he stepped into it, because now, I mean, it's kind of off sitting in his lap. I mean, it's messy. It's just messy. Okay.
That's his safe space. So when I saw him drag Al the way that he did, it was fun. It was a read. It was very Armani. She's dragged me like that. T.S. Jason from Hollywood Online. He's done all of that. But I'm gonna let you watch the drag, and then I'm gonna tell you where I had the problem. Let's go.
Because this is truly your birthday. Now, everyone, I wrote it down. Gather round. It's roast time, okay? Al, you're a man of many talents, some of which include being messy, causing drama, and having a knack for making our workplace feel like a reality TV show. Al's got a unique ability to smile in your face, snap a picture, and go behind your back and talk about you to your coworker that he claims he hates.
Child.
It's like he's got a PhD in two-faced studies, okay? Due to Al's special relationship with management and his hypersensitivity, we are not allowed to talk about his failed marriage. So even though he's brought it up many times, I'll steer clear of that topic to keep my job. Now, but wait, there's more. Al fancies himself as the facts guy, but somehow he never seems to get the actual facts right. Oh, and how could I forget Al's clout chasing antics? He's got all these celebrities friends, but the best part, none of these celebrities actually know they're supposed to be friends with him. As if that wasn't enough. Al is currently on a mission to get our talk show canceled. His nasty childish, slightly jealous attitude is working overtime to torpedo our show. It's like he's auditioning for a soap opera villain role. But despite all the chaos, let's not forget it's your birthday, Al.
This is why Al called Funky. Play it one more time.
Hold on before you talk.
No,
I'm on live.
You need to hear this on live.
Hold on. People can hear you.
I don't give a fuck. When I tell you go back and watch TGIF tonight,
what happened?
Go back and watch TGIF tonight and call me back.
All right, bye.
That was a lot of information that Armand had in such a short time, which means somebody's been talking to him. The only person that talks too much is Claudia. I know. The first encounter with me, you run your mouth like liquid to me? You didn't say off the record? Me. We're talking about me here. We're not friends. We're colleagues. You talk about me on your show. I'm going to talk about you on my show. That's the dynamic of the relationship. We're not friends, right? You can take the comments down for a second. But here's where I have the problem with Armand. That was an amazing read, but it was very mean-spirited. It didn't come from a happy place. It didn't even come from a genuine place. It came from a place that sounds like you were fueled, and you're blaming Al for getting a talk show canceled when he's the one that helped to build the job that you have. You wouldn't even be able to sit there if it wasn't for Al. Al comes from TV. Despite Al having favoritism with management, he understands how to network within the television industry. Now, what you just showed as a very, very young personality to somebody that has favoritism is that you are sabotaging the show. Not only are you sabotaging the show, you're not strong enough to carry the show like Funky. And that's why they had to bring in a Lunel and a T.S. Madison, because you're refusing to do your homework. You're very great with the tongue, very slick. You can read a bitch down, right? But television is not looking for that. They're looking for people that are well vast in a
Tasha said you could read a beat down. I thought it was funny when she said it like that. Yes. And she said Two-Face and PH. Yes, she did. Okay, back to Tasha.
vast area of topics, and they're able to appeal to a certain type of audience that understands, okay, intellectual conversations. But for you to do that, I'm like, you haven't gotten any opportunities on the red carpet yet. They haven't asked you to host Dish Nation. She hasn't even introduced you to the president that she says loves her so much. But she fueled you to go in on Al because she was too bitch to do it herself. Right? Just like when she was talking shit about Funky, she was too scared to do it herself. She used you as the pawn, and because you're emotional and erratic and easy to manipulate, you went in talking about things you knew nothing about because you ain't been there long enough. And if you really got your eyes open, you will see that they're trying to replace you right before your eyes. Not Al, you. Thank y'all so much for watching.
That was a lot, right? I'm like, oh my God. Like, I had no clue that all of this was going on. But Tasha ended saying that they're trying to replace him. So they did cancel the show. I believe it was the Friday show they canceled after after the Al Reynolds roast. Al posted that the show wasn't gonna be. Hold on, y'all. Come here, Lala. You do this every time, bro. My goodness. Oh. Okay. So now the new thing is, what's going to happen to the show? Like, is it going to be canceled? What are they going to do? Is Armand going to be let go? Right? I mean, this is just a mess. These people are making too much money. When you're talking about 6-figure salaries and stuff, come on, you got to be a little bit wiser than that. So it sounds like they're saying that Armand may be on his way out the door. We'll just have to wait and see, because at this point, it sounds like they're uncertain. I think Claudia in her live, and I'll try to find her live again. Claudia does state that, they'll be back on next week or whatever, but I'm sure the execs are pissed because Armand talking about, Al Reynolds' preferential treatment or the fact that they can't do certain things. All of those things are actionable. Fox Soul, even though we're seeing them on YouTube and it's a YouTube platform, it's Fox News. This is just a streaming show. So there are a lot of HR issues that he really brought up. So I'm just curious to see how this is going to play out. This is a mess. But anyway, y'all, I just came for a little time. Hope I didn't take up too much of your time. Lulu, get some rest. I'll see you tomorrow. And y'all all have a good evening. Bye.